At the beginning, about a week or so before Steve died, he texted me, and Steve was the smartest person I've ever known, and he was very eloquent, but he still always used the word dude. And he texted me and said, "Dude, you guys are making a new album. People will just shit themselves."
No.
And that's the last I heard from him.
But we did. I kept
Yeah, no, it's very true.
Yeah. Yeah, I have 1,000 Steve stories.
Give me Fugazi stories.
Not so much. I'll tell you a good Steve story that has to do with Scrabble.
Okay.
One time we were down in Texas and at my parents' house, and Steve and my mom and dad were playing Scrabble, and Steve played a word, and he counted the score, and it was way too high. We go, "No, that's not right." And he held up this particular tile, the E letter, and I guess the way they manufactured it is they had the little wooden tile and something stamps it. There's a little bit of a 3D thing, and it looks like it shifted. And so there was and it looked like 11 instead of 1. And so Steve pulled the lid from the box of the Scrabble thing and said, "The score of each letter is indicated by a number at the bottom right corner of the thing." And so he was right, and he got 11 points for me. Some years ago, I don't remember who it was, Spin or some magazine asked me to interview anybody I wanted. And I wanted to interview the guy who ran the Kinsey Institute. This is the sex research.
Yeah.
And he was at the Indiana University in Bloomington. And so I told several friends of mine that I was going to go be interviewing this guy, and somebody said that they had heard that sperm would be a good facial lotion. And so that was one of the questions that I asked this guy, and he was British, and I said, blah, 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 question. And he goes, "Well, I don't think so, because the sperm is just made of sugars, proteins, and and I could not. I recorded it, and I went home, and it was pre-internet. I listened to it 1,000 times, and I couldn't tell what he was saying. And so I called Steve, and I said, "Steve, what's in sperm?" And he goes, "Sugars, protein, and prostaglandins." He knew everything. He remembered everything he ever learned.